the telephone with reaction to that is one of the world's most famous talk show hosts. He's endlessly entertaining and informative. Mark Levin, welcome back to Fox and Friends.
Brian, tell me, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing good. I can't wait to get your response. I heard a lot of your show yesterday from the debate. First things first, on what Gretchen just mentioned, the bayonets and horses. What do you think about that comment?
I think it's ignorant. I think this president is hollowing out the military more than Jimmy Carter did. He's slashing maintenance. He's slashing R&D. He's slashing replacement units. And it's not just the Navy. It's the Air Force. It's the Army. We had a 600-ship Navy under Ronald Reagan. And I would remind the president we also had aircraft carriers. We've had aircraft carriers going back to 1922, as well as bayonets.
And Mark, too, it was his Secretary of Defense that used that analogy when talking about the dangers of sequestration, which we'll talk about shortly. And John Lehman, who serves as Secretary of the Navy, is on the record saying the world has not gotten any smaller since 1916, and our dependencies and vulnerabilities around the world for our economy have grown exponentially broader. The Navy is just too small. So the president might have left himself open there. Something else he talked about was China, and they battled on China. When it comes to destroying jobs, where do you think this administration's report card look? What does that look like?
Well, you know what? Outsourcing jobs isn't destroying jobs in this country. Obama's destroying jobs in this country. Obama's shutting down coal mines. Obama's shutting down fisheries. Obama's shutting down pipelines. Obama's nationalizing health care and student loans, not China. Obama's preparing hundreds of billions of dollars in middle class and small business tax increases. Obama runs the EPA. Obama runs the Interior Department. This man is hollowing out jobs in this country. He's de-industrializing this country. Meanwhile, he keeps talking about outsourcing jobs. What he's doing is outsourcing our massive debt to China. Now, that's a very serious problem.
The other thing, the issue that came up is sequestration, and Bob Woodward had a problem with this. Here's how it sounded in the debate when sequester came up between him and Mitt Romney 2 days ago.
The sequester is not something that I proposed. It's something that Congress has proposed. It will not happen. The budget that we're talking about is not reducing our military spending. It's maintaining it.
Here's what Bob Woodward said. What the president said is not correct. He's mistaken, and it's refuted by the people who work for him. Jack Lew brought the idea to Harry Reid. Next thing you know, it's in play. Do you think the president openly did not know that?
No, I think the president is a serial liar, and unfortunately, during these debates, we ought to have a little buzzer. And every time he lies, a buzzer goes off. They keep buzzing throughout these debates. It was his idea on sequestration. You know, there's something wrong in a country like this when we have a radical left-wing lawyer who's running the country, and we have a choice now of a practical, fairly conservative, successful businessman. It comes down to that. The problem for Obama is his record, and he's been cornered on it. His back's against the wall. So if your record is so disastrous, if it comes to domestic or foreign policy, what do? You just keep lying about it and hope that nobody catches up with it.
And, you know, we're down to the 2 weeks, no more confrontation, and this election is up for grabs. My personal opinion is I think the president's stunned. It's this close as we get to the backstretch. Mark, what time can we hear you today?
You can hear me all day. You know, we play it over and over and over again on my website. About 6 p.m. Eastern time, my brother. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for pulling the dog aside and talking to us. Mark Levin, thanks so much.